Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be answering some of the most frequently asked questions about getting started with this business model, just selling products online on platforms like Amazon and Walmart. So I'll be going through my Instagram DMs, my comments, my YouTube comments, just answering any questions that I see from you guys. So hopefully, if you're looking to get started and you have questions, hopefully this helps you. All right, so let's jump right into this. So the first question I have here is, how much money can I make with this business model? So, some of the people that make the most that I work with are making, $30,000, $40,000 plus in profit per month. But obviously that's on the very high end of the people that I work with. Not everyone's going to be able to make that much money. And realistically, if you're just getting started and you have a full-time job or other commitments, realistically, you can make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 plus profit per month. But it all depends on how much time and money and effort you're going to put into this business. By no means are those, big numbers, average numbers with this. Most people start much, much smaller. And then if they stay consistent, put the work in, then they can start achieving higher numbers. But, a good number to shoot for is anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in profit with this business model per month. So how long does this take to start? So realistically, you could go online right now and open an Amazon seller account today and probably get approved in the next couple of days. And then from there, you can start sending in products. Now, naturally, since we're dealing with physical inventory with this business, from the time you order it from a supplier, get it shipped in, it checks in and starts selling. With shipment times and everything, you can start seeing your first sales in, I'd say, 1 to 2 weeks of getting started if you wanted to today. But it really just depends on how quickly you move. How much time does this take per week? Great question. So a lot of people I work with have full-time jobs or just have other commitments where they're doing this kind of on the side to supplement their income. So realistically, if you have an hour or two per day to put into this business model, that is perfect. And then me personally, I've outsourced this business to virtual assistants. I use AI automations that help me run this business a bit more hands-off. So I'm not having to actually be on my computer all day running this. So I'm at a point now where I can put in 30 minutes, an hour per day. That's usually, pretty good to get me my results. Okay, so next question is this something I can do with my full-time job? Will I have enough time? Yeah, so I just touched on that a little bit in the last question, but realistically, if you have about 10 hours per week to put into this business, that is plenty, right? In the beginning, you're gonna be using most of that time just learning the skills because like anything else, running this business is a skill that takes time to learn. So as you get more efficient with it, like I said, you can outsource things, delegate certain things, and cut down that time a little bit. But realistically, when you're first getting started, anywhere from 1-2 hours a day is a pretty good starting point with this business model. Okay, next question is, do I need an LLC or business license to start? And no, you don't technically need one. However, I always recommend to my clients that they get an LLC. It's good for many reasons. One, you can get access to a business bank account, business credit, but it's also just more organized to separate out your personal and business finances. So I would always recommend getting one, but you don't, need one necessarily. Can I do this from outside the US? You can, but me personally, I only work with people within the US or Canada. The markets in these two places are much better than other places. The volume's just much better. So I typically only work with US, Canada, but technically you can do it elsewhere. Do I need a lot of tech skills or experience? No. So if you've ever bought anything online or just shopped online in general, you have the necessary skills to run this business model. We use a lot of tools that are AI based that will do a lot of the hard lifting for you. So no, you don't need to have any coding skills or operating advanced tools or anything like that. If you've shopped online before, you can run this business model. What categories of products are the best for beginners? So all categories have their pros and cons on Amazon. If I were just getting started, I would stick to something that is a replenishable, so things that people buy, consume, or use, and then buy more of in the future. Things like makeup, vitamins, supplements, those have always worked best for me. But I also sell a lot of clothing, electronics, tools, things like that, so I wouldn't limit yourself to just 1 or 2 categories of products, if that makes sense. Okay, so next question is, how is this different from dropshipping? So there's 2 main differences. The first one is with dropshipping, you need to create your own brand, build your own website, and then run ads to drive traffic to that website. Whereas with what we're doing, we're just buying and investing into name brand products that already have a reputation and are already selling online on pre-existing listings. So we're just getting a piece of the pie that's already working basically, whereas with dropshipping, you're basically having to start from scratch and drive all the traffic yourself. The other thing about dropshipping is that you don't own the inventory up front. You just set up a website, and then when somebody purchases it, you just ship it directly from a manufacturer to your customer. Whereas with this business model that I do, we buy the inventory up front, send it to a fulfillment center, so then whenever somebody buys the product, it's shipped via Amazon Prime directly to them, and it gets there in like 1 or 2 days. So shipping is much faster, and it's much more convenient for the customer the way we do things. The next question is this all legal and compliant? And the answer is yes. If you've ever bought something on a platform like Amazon or Walmart before, you might not realize it, but over 60% of all sales done on these platforms come from sellers like myself, and these are third-party sellers. So these big platforms rely on us to keep their inventory in stock and source the product from the brands to then sell on their platform. So we're essentially acting as a middleman between the brands and the customers. So yes, it's completely legal, and it's actually how Amazon runs their business. They rely on third-party sellers like myself and like you. Next question is this business model saturated? So if you're running a business that's doing $1 million, $2 million per month, then you might have to worry about saturation. But for most of you, Amazon's a platform that's doing over $40 billion in transactions per month. So we don't have to worry at all about saturation. It's not really something that impacts our business. What if my products don't sell? So that's not something we deal with at all. We're selling on pre-existing listings that already have proven demand, and these are name brand products that are already selling. So we're not buying things that aren't already selling, and we're not having to drive our own traffic. The traffic already exists, so the products pretty much always sell. We only buy products that we know are going to sell. What's the biggest mistake people make when getting started? I'd say two of the biggest things are, one, not getting proper approval from the brands to sell their products on Amazon. And this can lead to issues like getting listings taken down, or just not being able to sell products on Amazon after you buy them. So before you sell a product, you have to go to the brand and basically get approval from them, so you can sell their products on Amazon to customers. Now, the other thing is just kind of blindly buying listings and not checking all the metrics. All the listings have historical data, so you can see the price trends, supply and demand trends. And some people just kind of ignore those basically. So they buy things, and then a week later the price drops and they're no longer profitable. So it's really important to view all the historical data on the listings just to make sure that it's selling, it has good volume, and the price is staying consistent over time. How do I find the right products to buy and sell? So the best place to look for products is actually on Amazon itself. It's the best real-time database of what's working and what's not. So we can go on, look at what other people are selling, seeing what our competition is selling, going on their storefronts, and then just looking at what's working and what's not. We're not having to reinvent the wheel or anything. We can go and use these tools and see things like how many times per month products are selling, full price history, full sales history, all of that. And then we just see what's working, seeing what's not, find a supplier, and then buy the products and sell them. Okay, and building off of that, the next question is, how do I find the right supplier and what supplier should I use? So it doesn't really matter where you buy the product from, as long as you can get it at a low enough price to then resell on Amazon for a higher price and make a profit. So we buy products from both retailers, these are places like Walmart, Target, Kohl's, places like that, but also from wholesalers, distributors, and manufacturers. But it doesn't really matter where the product comes from. So once we find a product on Amazon that's selling well and makes sense for us to buy, we just do a quick search online, find somewhere to buy it from, and then invest. Next question is, what tools did I use? I use a variety of tools. The main two I use for product analysis are Keepa and SellerAmp. And those basically allow me to view things like how many times listings selling per month, price history, and things like that. Next question is, how do you automate and outsource the business? So the first thing and the easiest thing you can do is just go in and get some automation tools that'll help you with things like repricing and things like that. So basically these small tedious tasks that you'd normally have to go into your account and manually do, there's AI tools you can go out and get that'll handle all of this for you. Now, the next thing I do is hire a virtual assistant, because one of the biggest bottlenecks in this business is just not being able to find enough profitable products to sell. So by getting another person to help you look for products, you can double your output just by doing that. So me personally, within my business, I have 3 virtual assistants that source products for me pretty much all day, every day. So every morning, all I do is wake up, I check the products they send me, I buy the ones that make sense for me to buy, and then everything else is pretty much handled. And the next question I have is, why are you coaching other people instead of just scaling your own business? And this is a good question. And the truth is, I have my own business automated and outsourced enough to the point where I'm only spending about 30 minutes per day actually inside running my own business. And then with the rest of the day, I can just do whatever I want. So this has given me the opportunity to help other people make more money and then get paid to do that. It's as simple as that. So that's all the questions we have for today. I hope you guys got some value out of this and got your questions answered. But if not, if you still have more questions, feel free to either DM me on Instagram or just leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all soon.